When I was your age, they would say we could become cops or criminals. What I'm saying to you is this. When you're facing a loaded gun, what's the difference?
Martin Scorsese's 2006 film The Departed is a cinematic masterpiece and one of the best crime dramas ever written. Many of his films revolve around tortured souls, but The Departed may have the most tragic hero of them all. Welcome to Janu's Reviews. Let's go undercover, butter a French donut, and dive into this amazing film. Spoiler warning for this film. After directing Goodfellas, Casino, and Gangs of New York, Scorsese wanted to do a gangster film set in the modern era. The Departed is a remake of the Hong Kong action thriller Infernal Affairs, but with a distinctly Boston flavor. Scorsese knew the material came from Infernal Affairs, but he treated this less like a remake and more like a new story set in a different world. Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Billy Costigan, is a good cop working undercover as a ruthless criminal. Matt Damon's character, Colin Sullivan, is a dirty cop pretending to be a hardworking detective. The film follows their rise and fall and what it means to be good or evil. The story is centered on the duality of these two characters. Costigan is recruited by state detectives Queenan and Dignam as a mole to infiltrate the gang of a man named Frank Costello. Costello's character was loosely based on the real-life Boston mob boss, Whitey Bulger. Jack Nicholson portrays him as a heartless killer, slowly losing his grip on sanity. Many scenes with Nicholson were improvised. He was given the opportunity to do whatever he wanted to add to the character's unpredictability. We learn that Billy comes from a family of criminals. His uncle Jackie is a local legend, and that buys him some credibility within Boston underworld. Colin also grew up in the neighborhood. Costello took him under his wing, educating him in deception and street violence. He groomed Colin right into the state police force, and that gives him a steady feed of confidential information. After Goodfellas, this is my favorite Scorsese film. Watching DiCaprio and Damon work to uncover one another makes for a tense and fast-paced thrill ride. And when they get involved with the same woman, we know that disaster is right around the corner. The Departed is mostly remembered for Nicholson and Wahlberg's characters, the twist ending, or Scorsese finally winning an Oscar. But for me, it's DiCaprio's Billy Costigan and the painful loneliness he embodies throughout the film. With his mother gone, no friends, and living a double life, he has no one. DiCaprio described this character as a walking 24-hour panic attack. The only tenderness he receives is from Madeline, his court-appointed therapist. He opens up to her and finds a sympathetic soul, willing to listen. Unfortunately, she's also Colin's girlfriend. Colin is cold and secretive with her. He keeps her at arm's length, refusing to even hang her childhood picture in his apartment. As she drifts away from him, she gets closer to Billy. She's drawn to his open and vulnerable honesty. He finds the same childhood photo in a box and immediately hangs it on the wall. They make love, and he at least has someone in the world that he can talk to. Colin wants the controlled image of domestic life. Billy wants a real human connection. But after Madeline gets pregnant, she chooses to stay with Colin, and she turns her back on Billy.
I can't be a friend to you. I'm sorry.
To Billy, this is devastating. He realizes outing Colin as a rat and receiving his bonus money is all he has to look forward to. Billy Costigan is a tragic character in the purest sense. He puts his life on the line, living in constant fear of being discovered, being murdered, simply because it's the right thing to do. Almost everyone else in the film only cares about themselves and what Billy can give them. And this brings us to the fateful scene and the moment that made audiences cry out in shock. After Frank Costello and most of his gang are killed, Billy attempts to have his real identity restored. He no longer wants to be a cop. He just wants to receive his bonus and disappear into a new life. But he discovers that Colin is the rat, and he flees from the police station. He needs to prove that he was undercover and make Colin pay for his crimes. But first he creates a backup plan, just to be sure. He gives an envelope to Madeline to open only if he dies or goes missing. With this plan in place, he sends recorded evidence to Colin directly. The CD case is the Rolling Stones album, Exile on Main Street. Billy is literally exiled from normal life. No real identity, no home, and no future. He knows this will flush Colin out into the open. And Colin calls him immediately, attempting to keep him quiet. But Billy refuses. He wants to meet alone. He waits for him on a rooftop, ready to finally arrest him. With Queenan and Dignam out of the picture, he has no evidence that his undercover life ever existed. He captures Colin and brings him downstairs to finally pay for his crimes. Colin bluffs, but he knows it's over. Billy has won. Costello is dead. Colin has been captured and Madeline has the recordings to prove that Colin was the rat. He can now have his life restored, receive his promised bonus, and leave this town forever. Then the elevator door opens, and it all comes crashing down. I remember sitting up in my seat at home thinking, no way, that was someone else. Completely shocked and disbelieving that a hero of the film could be taken out in his moment of triumph. What a ballsy move by Scorsese. We're riding high with Billy's character, and then we get punched in the gut. I just rewatched the film and it still hits hard. Madeline cries at Billy's funeral, tears streaming down her face. Colin slowly realizes how close they really were. I wonder if it's Billy's child that she's carrying. Many viewers missed this, but the envelope also contained instructions to contact Sergeant Dignam. The finale sees Colin finally getting his well-deserved death. Madeline is gone, Costello and crew are dead. Billy can't reveal his secret, and Colin is the last man standing. But his victory rings hollow as he finds Sergeant Dignam waiting for him with a loaded pistol. There's no righteous monologue or discussion about delivering justice to evil men. Colin simply readies himself and says,
Okay.
So we're left with another amazing Scorsese film. One that has us imagining a better world, where Billy arrested Colin, had his identity restored, and maybe found a life with Madeline. But as Queenan tells us at the start of the film,
We deal in deception here. What we do not deal with is self-deception.
and Scorsese doesn't deal in happy endings wrapped in a bow. The Departed is less about people changing and more about people being exposed for who they really are. Billy Costigan is the one character that wanted to do good for the sake of good. And he dies a good man, denied the chance to ever see justice delivered. Is this one of Scorsese's best films, or just a great crime flick? Is Billy a tragic character or just a man who got in over his head? Either way, let us know what you thought of The Departed. And if you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos right here.